And there is the fist bump. We are rolling. We're in the finals of the One Piece card game regional here in Utrecht. We've got Valeri on the right with Kid, Wim on the left with Nami, and we start off with one Don, but that's okay, because that's all you need for the Monkey D. Luffy Supernova Searcher.
And here we go. Going first and getting that 7-cost law really good. But yeah, maybe you don't care what you find because that pudding will shuffle up your hand anyway. No, still pick the best. Still pick the best.
What did you get from Luffy? Who even cares? It's going away with pudding in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Not ideal. Well, that is your first turn action. Regardless, of course, Kid does have that skill that lets you activate a 3/8 cost Supernova and leave it as a blocker, which we'll probably see a bunch of times throughout this game. Nami, when a life is taken, gets to draw a card, but also when your opponent attacks, can trash a card from hand to give a 2k bump. Make yourself very difficult to go over, shall we say.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So he's deciding to playing something. Here we go. He's playing the Hiyori.
And there we go. We are swapping a life. You don't gain a life. You don't lose a life. But what you do is you swap a life for one in your hand. Gives you two things. Firstly, activates the leader skill, which draws you a card. But secondly, it means you know what's on top of your life. And you can put a card there which is going to be advantageous. That's a good thing. Passing over to Valeri. We're up to the 3 Don turn here. And what can we use it for?
Are we gonna use it? It's a question. He does not really have a very good play. Maybe he wants to put out a badge already. Looks like it, since he is leaving 2 Don open.
There, he's put 1 Don on the... And there it is, just countered away. So we have got a couple open. It is the beige comes down. It's pretty weak, but it is a blocker. So that is going to be a nice little advantage as we go through. And also, if a Supernova would be removed by an opponent's effect, you can add it to the top cards of your life face down instead. So basically, don't remove a Supernova using an ability when beige is on the field, because that's a bit silly.
Yes, you want to set up that beige against Red Rock potentially on your big drops. However, Nami does have a lot of ways to get rid of this beige. With, for example, if it's in a Red Rock turn, they can do the Nojiko first, Nojiko Red Rock, for example.
Absolutely. Speaking of fancy blockers, here comes the fancy blocker from Wim. He did swing into life. That wasn't successful, but he did then play the Marco, the blocker that draws 2 on KO. And having a blocker with an on-KO skill, that it's just always fun. Because you know they're getting KO'd at some point. They're blockers. It's...
Double checking the Nami. So we do have an option to play Okikinojo, or we can play a Zeus to pop the Marco instantly. You do have choices here, but yeah, you only have 1 big drop. That's your 7-cost law that you searched early on. And yeah, if that one is getting red rocked.
And Zeus does come down. Zeus gets rid of Marco immediately. That card about which you have spoken so highly. It's a 2 cost. It gets rid of a 4-cost blocker, which is very, very annoying. It is a KO, though, so it does still get to draw. So you do still get some value out of the Marco, but it's not quite the same. Oh, here we see the life given up, but he do have that Boa Hancock trigger, which will then get rid of your opponent's blocker in that Capone Beige. That's what the Kozuki Hiyori skill did earlier, where you got to put that on top of your life, knowing that, well, if I'm going to give up a life, I know this trigger is going to come out, so I can time when I give up the life to take advantage of this trigger. So both blockers gone.
And you know, when your opponent is asking how many cards in hand, you know there is a potential of a pudding coming out.
Yeah, there is. There's one of those tells you always see. How many cards in hand? Please don't pudding me. How many cards in hand?
But I do think that Valerie would like to be puddinged with a hand filled with 3 Okikinojos. So
Possibly. We do see the Kumas coming down here. Trash a card from your hand, then that lets you pop a life down from the top of your deck. And of course, when the Kuma goes away, another life will be coming out. A life is now taken from a NAMI swing into Valeri. Also, don't think I haven't noticed the X on the back of the wrist from the judge there. Great little nod to One Piece lore. Shout out to the judge. I noticed. I'm sure like everyone in chat noticed as well, but just a cool little bonus. And here we go
here we
with that
go.
7 cost, that big secret rare lore. And this is going to pop a card to top of life as well. Both players. We got yellow on both sides. We're going to be recovering life in this game.
And that in the finals without time. We can sit here forever. We will heal forever.
I don't know. Like, my dad's watching my kids while I'm casting this. I told him I wouldn't be that much longer. So, nice brisk pace if you could, please.
But
I hope the house is
yeah, the
destroyed.
hand is not that great for Valerie. I think he wouldn't mind being puddinged with 3 Okikonojos in hand.
Absolutely not. Sometimes, and that's the thing about pudding, it can be an advantage. It can put you into a much nicer hand if you're completely bricking, if you've got, a bunch of unplayable cards or cards you don't need right now. And because it's a shuffle draw, which happens very rarely in One Piece, most of the time it's bottom deck. But because it's shuffling, those cards, they're not necessarily gone for the game. They can come out at any point afterwards. We do see a swing here with Kuma. That is going to take a life away from Valeri's kid. And that puts him down to 3 life remaining. Is this another swing here with the Nami? Yes, putting down to 2 life remaining.
Horrible hand for a yellow kid. It's definitely not something you want to see in the finals with 3 Okikonojos in hand. No big drops for this turn. Well, Kuma is your biggest drop. It's an 8 cost, basically, so that's something. But yeah, definitely not something you are happy about. And yeah, the Nami's still at 4 life.
Yeah, we've seen a couple recovered already in this game. And that's the thing. If you're playing again, this is an important point. If you're playing against something like a pudding, you've got to watch your reactions. Because if you look like you're exasperated with your hand, there is no way your opponent is playing a pudding. Here we see a swing for 8k with Kid. And, if you're Whim, you're paying attention to this. You're watching your opponent. You're watching what they're playing. You need to be able to predict how good their hand is, because the worst thing you can do is putting them into a better hand than they actually had pre-put-in. That is a complete waste of resources. So it's something you've got to be aware of. If you're playing cards like put-in, watch your opponent. How are they reacting? What are they playing? Do they look happy? Or are they faking it, maybe? Mind games.
Poker face.
Exactly right. It
He
does look like a
takes.
life is being taken here.
Whoa. That was
Trigger?
a random trigger. It's not there because of Hiyori.
Nope.
That's a heal from the Kuma.
That was random heal, but it totally worked. Speaking of healing from Nakuma, Valeri is healing from Nakuma. So both players here taking advantage of Kuma. One of the best yellow cards. If you can find it, it's going to be in yellow decks. It is that gosh darned good. But we are the minute.
Yep. Nami wants to have a big drop as well right now. 8 cost
Yes.
kit, maybe a 7 cost Odin would be fine as well. But yeah, you want to set up some boards as well. Although you do have Kuma, you have Okikunojo, you have your leader, of course. So it looks very good for the Nami's side.
Absolutely, it does. Nami was my pick going in, so I'm happy about that. Here comes a swing from the Kuma. It's a 6k swing, no Don on there. Forces a response. Response is given.
Yep, 2k and a 1k. Putting yourself to 4 cards and not a very usable card, so but yeah. If you take and they go another 7, or they go kits and put you to 1, you are in big troubles.
Absolutely, you are. Here comes a swing with Kikunojo here.
Asking a 2K.
Nope, we are just
Yep.
taking a card from the life. We are down to 2. But remember, we do have that kid that can come in and trash life, and there's nothing you can do. You can't counter out of it if kid is trashing it. So that is something you do have to watch here.
Yes. It seems like Nami has more than 7 cards in hand since Wim did not draw from his leader ability just yet.
Oh, here is that big kid, and he comes down, gets rested. There goes the life out of Valeri's
Yeah, it was at
life
8
area,
cards.
down to 1. We are getting close if we're Wim here. Of course, there is potential for recovery. Valeri is playing a mono yellow deck. Here we see a 7k swing, but it is countered out of.
Yes, this doesn't look very good. Oh, the end of turn effect from Kit.
Why not? We do see a Zoro coming down there as a trigger, though. That's a kind of a big advantage. The fact that you get an extra 5k coming down off of a trigger.
And now you have to, well, as Kit, you have to go for it because you are at 0. You don't have a lot of counter in hand as well. So, but going into 3 life from Nami with 8 cards in hand.
And that is a fist bump. Wim is going to take game 1 with blue-yellow Nami, 1 game away from becoming the Utrecht One Piece card game regional champion. 2-0 in top 16, 2-0 in top 8, 2-0 in top 4. And if that pattern holds, we are 1 game away from seeing blue-yellow Nami take the crown. But Valeri is going to be trying to win game 2 and forcing a game 3. That was a very sudden ending there, Ruben.
Yes, that's what it was. It was not even close. That was the painful part about this. This was just a steamroll. Yeah, it was very painful to watch for if you are the Yellow Kit enjoyer. But yeah, it was not close this game. He set up everything perfectly. He set up a boa to KO the Besh, so Retrog is a viable card against the only big drop that we saw this game from the kid side. That was 7 cost Law, and yeah, other than that, the hand from Yellow Kid was also horrible, having 3 Okikunojo's in hand instead of in your life. And then the Nami did have an Okikunojo in life, so everything went really well for the Nami side, and everything went really bad for the kid side as well. So this matchup is already probably not the best, and then now you have to play with a bad hand as well into a, let's say, decent hand, because everything you play early on, let's say if you can get to play your Okiku-Nojos, it's very hard to keep them on the board against Nojiko or Jozu, and whenever you play a big drop, they just red rocket. So
Great. It's not a great combination of factors if we're being honest with ourselves. And, you know, certainly Wim is looking calm here. They are looking like a player you have those tournaments sometimes where you're just on it. Your deck is working, you're making all the right decisions, everything is going your way, and it's partly because you made a good deck, partly because you prepared nicely for the tournament, it's partly because you are just playing brilliantly. But Wim has the look of a player who is just having one of those tournaments, coming with a deck that was not high on the list of decks we expected to win. Straw Hats, yeah. Luffy, other Luffy, Zoro, plenty of Straw Hats we were expecting to do well. Nami was not high on that list, but 1 game away here from being the champion. And One Piece has, sometimes watching One Piece and I'm casting a game and the players will fist bump and there will be a question of what happened there. No such question in game 1. Speaking of fist bumps, there is a fist bump. We are rolling with game 2. A decisive victory in game 1 for Wim. We're starting with Yamato Searcher, looking to win this game and close out the championship.
yes, and Yamato being able to search quite a lot actually in this deck. I do know that people started playing, well, at the very start in Blue Yellow Nami, they played with Sengoku as searcher, just so they can find Kuma.
Yes.
However, Wim decided to go for the Yamato and the Wano play, and here we have Odin. Odin, well, that will remain on the board for quite a while against Yellow Kid, because Yellow Kid, the one thing that's not very good from Yellow Kid is they don't really have removal unless you... Oh, unless you count the Zeus as removal.
A little bit of removal. Depends what you're trying to remove, I suppose.
Mhm.
No, not going to work against Kuma. It's not going to work against whatchamacallit. It's not going to work against that Odin. So it is removal, but not necessarily removing everything you want. So we search with the Luffy there for Valeri, and it looks like are we passing back over to Wim here, or do we have something to do with that other Don? I'm certainly thinking.
Seems like he passed because we are at 3 Don from the Nami side. We're going
Okay,
8.
here we go. And it is, as you've pointed out a couple of times, I don't need to do anything. 8K swing with the Nami.
The treasure
Oh,
card, but our hand is now a lot better, it seems. But you need to watch out for pudding again. Like, you have a good hand right now. Make sure that you can keep it.
and Wim did very well in game one. They did not play Charlotte Pudding. Larry's hand was not good, but Pudding never came down to help. So if you're Wim, that is part of the skill here. Don't make life easy for Valeri. We draw a card. We start off here. That was the excuse me. It was a Nami skill. A Nami skill? Yes.
Yeah.
And now we pass on over to Valeri. And we didn't see much of the kid leader skill in that last game. There weren't many opportunities to set a Supernova cost 3-8 active as a blocker. Are we going to be able to see it a bit more this game? Valeri had little last game. Kid didn't come through. The hand didn't come through. Wim absolutely rolled. Can we make things a little more even here?
Yeah. Wim thinking about using his leader ability, staying as healthy as possible, staying at 4 lives. Yeah, he's pointing out that he's using leader ability.
And it is Marco being discarded. That gives a 2K bump. Now we see Basil Hawkins. One came out for trigger a minute ago. Now one is being played from the hand. And this is the classic. Gonna set it active as a blocker so that essentially you have to attack into it. And Basil Hawkins becomes a blocker with a phenomenal KO skill that just gets rid of one of your opponent's life. And there we do see it put active as a blocker from that kid's leader skill. Already a better use of the kid leader than we saw in game one.
Yes, pudding already very dangerous. I think we are at 7 cards for the kid side.
You have Pudding in hand, you know? Can you spy it?
I think I see a 4 cost, but it can be Marco as well, so I'm not sure.
We shall wait and see as the turn progresses. Not got anything going on now, mind
There is a
you.
pudding. Yes, now it's confirmed.
Okay, so we do have Pudding. Pudding is available if you want it, and I think a lot of the time you do. Your opponent's got a large hand, and unlike in game one, things are going well for them, which sounds really mean. But they've got the Basil Hawkins out. They've already, they've had the search with the Luffy, and they've got a bunch of cards in hand. They are kind of asking to be put into right now.
Yep. Maybe he's considering for playing pudding next turn, and for this turn just playing like Nojiko onto the Basil Hawkins, which is also fine because I wouldn't be surprised if he's not gonna play pudding this turn. Definitely possible, but yeah, he is going for it anyway. Here we go.
But now we get a new hand of 5. It is a shuffle draw, which means every card you put in is eligible to come back out again. It is a random new hand of 5 cards. And if you're Valeri, this could be the turning point of the entire match. If you draw well off of this, then you can put yourself still in a good position to try and finish out this game. If you draw badly off of this, that could be the reason why Wim in a few minutes' time is crowned as champion. And if you could show us what the hand is when you draw it, Valeri, that would be, honestly, that would be like super helpful.
5 new cards. But let's find out. So, oh, it's very good actually. We have a 7 cost law, we have an 8 cost Gits, and a Kuma.
Okay, there's some good cards in there. Certainly not like it was in game one. So we do see an attack, and of course, choosing to take that law off of the life. Knew what was coming out there. Now Basil Hawkins loses blocker.
Oh,
Now we head on over to Valeri here. We've got Basil Hawkins and Luffy on the board.
and you definitely now you have like a good curve. You have your six down turn, I guess. So you can
Yes.
play out your Kuma. Next turn you can play out your Kit or Law, or you can first play Kit, then play Law. So you do have a good hand right now. But is it enough to overcome the Nami? Because Nami is playing 3 Red Rocks, and Red Rock is a very good card against these big drops.
And Noja Coasted could still be coming out. It's not going to get everything, but it will get some of these cards, like Bezel Hawkins, for instance, could be Noja Code away. We do see, as expected, it is Takuma coming down, adding a life, and then straight away using that leader skill to pop that new life face up, show us that it is Scratch Manapoo. And now we've got that Basil Hawkins there as a blocker. And if it does block, it gets taken out and it gets KO'd, then that means that you are going to be seeing a life removed from Wim. So, if nothing else, Valeri has had a much better start this game. They are already having a better time, put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Going for a 5.
Doesn't come down, so we are just taking a life there.
He has a very good. This is probably the hand that Valeri really wants to keep and not getting another pudding. Um,
There's plenty of pudding left. There's enough pudding for everyone. Now we do see a swing from the Basil Hawkins there. We see Kazuki Oden has hit the field as well. That's going to get annoying next turn. We are countering out with, was that Kazuki Hyori there, I believe? Counted out.
and with no Don on leader, there is plenty of attacks going. 5, 5, 7, and the kid. So
Now we do see one card being taken out of the life here. Has a look, and then you decide, do I use the trigger? Do I take it to hand? Looks like taking it to hand.
and a Don for the kid to treasure life, and it's a Zeus or Wim.
We are starting to get down a bit low if we're Wim here. We're down to 2 life remaining.
Yep.
No more huge swings coming out. There is a Luffy Searcher, but the big characters have already swung.
Yep. Using the end of turn effect from Kid, making sure to cycle a card away that you don't need. I can imagine that maybe next turn he wants to set up a law with a bash on his turn, so that his supernovas are protected against the red rock. He just hopes not to get red rock this turn on his kit, and because Odin is also a very big threat, being able to swing twice if he wants to onto kits as well.
Absolutely. It is worth noting that we do have Basil Hawkins back up as a blocker for something like the 3rd turn in a row here. It's what Kid likes to do, and it is working quite nicely here. NAMI is going to have to deal with that at some point, but it is low enough that a Nojiko could, if you had one, if you had the Don spare, you could just use a Nojiko to get rid of that Basil Hawkins and then start swinging wherever you like.
The leader should be active from Nami, and other than that, he is good to go for his turn.
Yeah, leader has not swung yet, should be active. Sure, that'll be fixed in just a moment.
What Nojiko? So I do feel like we
Oh,
will
and it is
swing.
Nojiko coming down, does get rid of that Basil Hawkins. There we go. Nami is being put there to active. See, Judge gets it. We're good. Nojiko takes care of Basil Hawkins. Now there's no blocker on the board, and that means that, double Kozuki Oden swing could come in. First, we see the Nami swing with a Don underneath, which is setting up for the leader skill next turn.
think he's trying to bait some counter right now from Valeri so he can push more with Odin onto the kit and potentially on Kuma as well. And
If you could get both of those off the board with Odin, that would be huge. Taking your only two good opponent's characters off the board, and then of course if a big one gets played next turn, that's where Red Rock potentially comes in so beautifully, and then you can just be playing keep away, so your opponent is just not getting good characters stuck on the board. Well, we are seeing a swing from Odin now. Where is it being directed?
I think it's going live because I see a little bit of a Red Rock in hand from Wim, and I can imagine that that he won't use the ability from Odin and just going to use the Red Rock on this 8-cost kit.
I think you might be right with that one. We do have enough Dawn open. Are we resolving? We are. There is 3 cards being used to counter out from the Odin. I never feel bad about that. If my opponent's got to drop 3 cards out of their hand to counter out of an attack, that makes me feel good. Then we play the Red Rock. We're not going to restand the Odin. We don't have enough Dawn to do so. But we don't really care because we just played Red Rock to get rid of the 8-cost kid. And that is a rather hefty bonus.
Definitely, but we do have a 7-cost law as 2 even, if we want to, so we can set up... Yep, we will set up the law. Oh, not yet.
First, we had a searcher Luffy come down, searching for a supernova. We saw one on turn 1, and the one from turn 1 has been basically ignored since then. Oh, but this is getting the 7-cost 9k secret rare law. That is one which is, I mean, firstly, it can recover a life, and then it's a 9k body on the board. It is one of the stars of the deck, and now it's in hand available.
But will he set up a... Well, I do think he countered with a beige, so I don't think he can set it up to protect this law anymore.
We're
He's
using Don on the
swinging
Kuma to
9.
get a bigger swing. We're going to let that go.
Swinging 9. So that means if we play law, that we can't swing with leader anymore.
Well, we are playing law, which means we can't swing with leader anymore, apparently. Here comes the law, and a Basil Hawkins is going on top of the life by the law skill.
Oh, but we didn't use leader ability from Nami, so the 6 can still swing. If he used leader ability and it was a 7k leader, because there is a Dawn. So,
Well, the Dawn's left on there from last turn. I assumed that was for the leader skill. But we've not had the plus 2k put on it.
yeah.
No, we're countering with a Marco. Oh, there we go. There is a plus 2k. There we go.
Yeah. I guess he didn't counter out of the 9k, and that's why he didn't use leader ability yet. It's weird if you go leader ability, going to put yourself to 7k leader, but still taking the life. Yeah, here we go.
Right, your opponent's got 3 life. You've got 2 life. They've started to get some big bodies established on the board. What can you do about it? You're 1 game up in the final of the One Piece card game regionals in Utrecht.
I do see another Red Rock.
Oh, that would be fun. Red Rock sounds pretty good because your opponent can just keep replaying. But do you Red Rock? Yeah, you do. Your opponent can keep playing big characters, but it means they play you bottom deck. They play you bottom deck. They're never really getting much value out of them. And you're just sitting there kind of doing your thing. And we've still got Odin who can have 2 big swings. We've got Nami swing first. Basil Hawkins comes out of the life, which we knew it was literally face up. But that is going to give you a couple more cards seen, 1 extra card in hand. We need 3 more swings. Playing a couple of life, a couple of Don, sorry. Are we? Looked like we were.
If 6 Don will go to the Red Rock, so we have 3 Don left. So we can use Odin if we want to.
That's what I'm thinking.
Of course, Red Rock first, and yeah, you see Valerie not happy to see that second Red Rock, which is very good, of course. 8 to the leader.
That is going to go. Now, it is a law which does get played off the trigger. It's worth noting there was a 7-cost law, the one that just got red rocked. There was one of those in hand that got discarded from the Basil Hawkins trigger that Valeri did a minute ago. So one of the ones he could have used to play as a replacement did get trashed. And this 4-course law, look, I love the trigger. I love the counter plus 2k. But once it's actually on the board, it's just a generic 5-cost body, 5k body. It's not great when it's actually on the board.
Yeah, and having 3 red rock is, of course, amazing in this matchup. Like, every big drop that he played got red rocked, I think, in both games. So card is really good in this matchup, and that's probably why Nami is so ahead. And he's deciding if he wants to use the Odin ability, and he will.
We can restand. We can have another 8k swing coming in. I don't think. Very, very unlikely we end the game this turn.
Impossible even, but yeah.
Yeah, with what's in the hand. Like, there is still a put-in swing potentially, but not enough. That's only 4k though, isn't it? Regardless, you're right. It is not happening this turn. Oh, there's a Zorro that came down as a trigger as well. There's actually quite a lot of little swings coming now. 2 extra 5k characters hit the board because of trigger last turn. There's a Zorro and there is the Law. Plus you add in the Kuma. The 2 Luffy aren't doing very much. But there are 3 decent attacking characters and your leader. You got a bunch of Don open. Here's a tentative 5k swing from the Zorro. And that is just, wow, leader skilled away, shall we say. Trashed the kid from hand, got the 2k. Now we see a swing from Kuma.
Testing the waters. If there is no counter in hand, which might happen, like he had the Red Rocks, Odin, and so on and so on. So maybe if he can push him to 1, then he probably would go for a split. However, now you can't do it, so we probably will go heal 1, put up a blocker because of your leader ability, and just hope that you can survive 1 more extra turn. You do have 2 2Ks in hand, and you put a, I think it was a Basil Hawkins in your life. So you can get rid of that kit as well when triggering the Hawkins.
No, absolutely. That is what we saw. We saw the Law coming down, establishing 1 more card in the life. We now put the Don onto the leader, getting ready for that leader skill, which is going to put somebody active and make them a blocker, which, well, it has to be Law, really, doesn't it? Here we do see the swing with Captain Eustace Kid, that yellow leader. 7k swing to your opponents. Won't take much to counter out. You are a 7k leader now, but you will need something.
Yep, and he either is going to leave the 2 Don open because we know that he's playing 3 of the Red Hawk events to +3. Like maybe he draws it from the Hawkins, or he's going to swing another 7 with the Law and try to close up the game, the upcoming turn. Because we know 2 2Ks in hand, Hawkins in life. Hawkins can draw 2, trash the non-counter in hand. So we have 2 2Ks, 2 unknown cards for now, and 1 blocker. And they actually only have like Odin and leader. Well, I guess Pudding can also still swing.
He's got some Don, but yeah, you can get some swings we're put in here. You got to commit a Don or 2, but you can get some swings we're putting. Well, a swing we're putting. So we are back over to Wim, trying to finish it out this turn. Both players have 1 life remaining. Valeri knows it is going to be that the Basil Hawkins, which is going to make the defense a bit easier, drawing 2 and trashing 1 when that comes out of the life. But Wim does have the double swing here with the Kozuki Odin available, along with the leader and the put-in.
Wim also has a lot of defensive tools. He has a lot of 2Ks and a Slave Arrow to pick up something that's on the board as well, and giving himself +4K. So I do think that if the Nami doesn't win this turn, he can actually survive potentially an extra turn. That's how much counter he does have left in hand.
I mean, that would be pretty sweet. The Yamato even, once you stick Don on there, it does escalate fairly quickly. You can get some attacking in with that as well. But right now, is that 3 cards in hand for Valeri? plus the 2 cards which are coming from the Basil Hawkins, -1
Yes.
after the draw from Basil Hawkins.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that he left the 2 Don open. We know he has 2 2Ks and a brick, and that brick he will filter out with the Hawkins trigger effect and draw 2 cards. And in some worlds, it's 2 times an event, and that's why he wants to play to his outs. He is playing to his outs. Hopefully, gets an extra turn into blue yellow Nami. However, blue yellow Nami has an Odin that can restand himself as well, and there's just so much counter in hand as well from the blue yellow Nami.
It is. Plus, of course, you build in that leader skill, popping an army up to 7k, making it harder to get over before you even play. All of those 2k coming down as well. So you're right. Going into next turn, there is some decent defense that can be played by the Nami player, by Wim Viven here. Both players now, we're checking trash. We're going, all right, what have you used? What's available? What am I likely to run into?
Yeah, he's definitely considering what he should do now. I don't think he will fully tap out. I do think if he doesn't get there, he will keep. Oh, he does have an 8-cost kit.
Oh, that helps massively. Now we only need to get one swing through, and we are going to be crowning a champion here. We've got Nami's going to be swinging as a 6k. There is, remember, a blocker on the board, and we have the potential, well, only a single swing with Odin now. We are countering with X-Drake. The Nami swing doesn't go through. That blocker is still there, and I don't believe there's enough Don now to restand Odin.
Yeah, I do think he will pass because the Odin, you want that done for your potential slave arrow in hand, a plus 4,000 defend as well, and yeah, now it's just passing, and next turn he will get there.
Well, he's used Jozu already. It survived this turn. You said he's got a bunch of counter in hand. Is it going to be enough? Now we're checking the discard pile. Wim is checking Valeri's discard, going, right, what have you got access to? What have you already used? Let's make sure I don't run into anything a little bit silly.
We do also have 8-cost kit in hand, so we can try to bait an extra counter by swinging first and then play the 8-cost kit to trash the last life. And then, yeah, you just have to go for it and hope you get there. Let's see. Trying to bait some counter.
There goes the Nami leader skill. That's going to pop it up to a 7k. And that is for the turn, not for the battle. So now every swing is going to need a couple more. We are swinging. Are we swinging? Looked like we were swinging with a law, but then we changed our mind. We're not there yet.
He's now calculating what is best. Do we play 8-cost kit, trash the last life, and go all in with the law, or do we just, or do we need to split our dons? Which is better? That is what he is calculating right now. However, we know that there is a slave arrow and still some 2Ks left, so there is, I think, no possible way to get there for the yellow kit this turn.
Absolutely. Slave Arrow will be a 4k counter. You do need to return one of your characters to your hand, but you've got the Yamato, so fine. And to be honest with you, Pudding, and then they're just extra counter in hand as well. So
Yeah,
that's going to be good. Slave Arrow is going to help. We do have
slave
Don
arrow.
open.
Very good card against Green Zoro, but yeah, definitely also helps in some situations. As of this one, it's still a plus 4,000 for one Don, and as we mentioned yesterday, one Don for plus 4,000 is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. 1 for 3 is standard. 1 for 4 is exceptional, and you do then potentially have another card with counter as well to use afterwards because of it. So yeah, you see a smile from Wim. Is he having fun, or does he think he's going to win, or is he just a happy guy?
I think he is pretty sure that it's locked. Like, the yellow kid is at 0. This Odin can potentially, if he wants, swing 15 twice next turn as well. If nothing comes up. So yellow kid does not play Slam Gibson or something, which is not even possible against this Odin.
There's a swing from the law. We got an 8K swing coming in. But unfortunately, it doesn't take much to counter out because you've got a 7K leader sitting there on the board. Having that extra 2K on your leader for every attack coming in absolutely clutch. Now we see a swing from the secret rare law. It's a big swing. I believe it's a 10K swing, but
And that's
honestly,
perfect for Slave Arrow.
not going to be enough. We know it's not going to be enough. We play the Slave Arrow now? There's a decision to be made. You don't have to counter this. You can take the last card. You don't lose until your opponent gets an attack through when you've got no life. So if you've got countering options, you can take the last one. Give yourself an extra card in hand. That is an option that's available. But Slave Arrow, here we go. It is the Slave Arrow. It is the pudding being bounced back to hand. And there is the fist bump. And Wim is going to take this 2 games to 0 with Blue NAMI. 2-0 in top 16, 2-0 in top 8, 2-0 in top 4, 2-0 in the final. Wim and Blue Yellow NAMI are regional champions here in Utrecht for the One Piece card game. We didn't see it coming,